It's hard to write when the mind feels blank but heavy at the same time. There's a sense that something needs to come out, but no sentence wants to start. Most people assume journaling is about finding the right words inside and putting them down. But sometimes writing becomes easier when the words don't begin inside at all. This came up during a quiet afternoon hour. The room was still, a notebook was open on the desk. Next to it sat a book that had already been read once before. No plan to reread, no plan to quote, just there within reach. The journal page stayed empty longer than expected, not because there was nothing to say, but because everything felt unformed. Thoughts were present, but they didn't feel ready to stand on their own. At some point, the book was opened again, not to look for advice, not to solve anything, just to rest the eyes on sentences written by someone else years ago for reasons unrelated to this moment. One line was read, then another, no underlining, no copying, just reading until the internal pressure to produce something eased a little. And then the pen lit. What changed wasn't the quality of the thoughts, it was the feeling of being alone with them. Having someone else's word nearby does something quiet in the mind. It reduces the sense that the page is a test. It interrupts the idea that every sentence has to be original, insightful, or even complete. Cognitively, this works because the brain relaxes when it isn't starting from zero. Language is social by nature, it develops in response, not isolation. Reading before writing gives the mind a rhythm to step into, instead of asking it to invent one from scratch. Emotionally, it does something else. It replaces the feeling of being examined by the page with the feeling of sitting next to someone. Not someone giving instructions, just someone present. The important part is that the book isn't treated as an authority. Nothing needs to be learned from it in that moment. It doesn't need to match the journal entry, it doesn't even need to be related. It's just proof that language already exists in the room, that the silence isn't empty, that words are possible even if they don't arrive perfectly. The journal entry that followed was small, a few plain sentences, some observations about the afternoon, a half formed thought that didn't resolve into anything useful. But it counted. Because the point wasn't to say something impressive, the point was to stay in contact with the mind instead of withdrawing from it. Many people stop journaling not because they don't care, but because every blank page feels like a demand. Write something meaningful. Write something honest. Write something worth keeping. Writing with someone else's words nearby quietly removes that demand. It allows the page to be shared instead of confronted. If writing has been feeling resistant lately, it might not be because there's something or nothing to say. It might be because there's too much pressure to say it alone. For this project, one page is written each day as a way of thinking when life feels still or slightly stuck. Sometimes that page begins after reading a few lines written by someone else, just to remind the mind that language is already moving. There's no rule about what kind of book this has to be. fiction, essays, old underlined paperbacks, even something already familiar. The content matters less than the presence. Before closing, here's a simple question to sit with. If it feels easy to answer, when writing feels difficult, does it help you too to have something open nearby? Or does silence feel better to you? The page doesn't need to carry everything on its own. Sometimes it just needs company,